Here's a new way for you to buy property for as little as $5 that you can go and flip for thousands of dollars. Now, I know this sounds crazy. It sounds like some Mr. Beast clickbait thing, but I'm going to walk you through this step by step in this simple, short video, because if you've ever wanted to get started in real estate, this can be the way you can do it. And if you've ever bought Starbucks coffee, you should feel guilty knowing that there's property out there that you could have flipped for thousands of dollars, and that coffee addiction has cost you property. So that's the name of the game that we're after here today. So how is this possible? Is this even real? I want to welcome you to the world of tax lien and tax deed investing. So these are properties that when the government doesn't get their taxes, they say, hey, pay your taxes or we're going to auction the property. Half of the states are lien states, half of them are deed states. So what happens in a tax lien or deed state is if the government doesn't sell the tax lien or the tax deed, what happens is this goes to government inventory. This could be a seized property or over-the-counter lien that is available. So what happens is when these properties sit in inventory, they sit there long enough and the county basically has a blowout sale, you know, the old turkey sale for properties. This is what the county does. So the way you can get these super cheap properties is you need to identify areas where these properties didn't sell, okay? Now, sure enough, you'll have people in the comments being like, well, there's a reason they didn't sell. Okay, well, yes, a lot of the times there is a reason they didn't sell. However, if you're willing to roll up your sleeves a little bit, do a little bit of work, you can find these properties. For example, we just did a 48-minute live stream a couple days ago that is on the live. We found these properties on the county website. They were $2. They were $2, and there was people going in there buying these properties for $2. They were lots. They were like land within little cities and towns. However, when you go on Zillow, the selling price of some of these was $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for a $2 piece of property. Now, I know you're totally skeptical, and you absolutely should be. This is the internet, right? I'm a guy on YouTube. Maybe you haven't seen me before. I'm Dustin Hahn, and this channel is dedicated to helping you get started in real estate so that you can have an unconventional way of maybe replacing your job, replacing your income through real estate. You know, if you guys know my story, I was working on an oil rig, hating life, miserable, depressed, and I was like, you know, I don't want to spend my whole life up north in an oil field camp, miserable, perhaps losing a finger or a foot or something like that. And I took a vow that I wanted to get into real estate, so I started reading some books, and I was listening to books in the front end loader, plow and snow, and I heard about tax liens and deeds over 21 years ago. And one of my first properties changed my life. I've bought properties for as little as $50. People who watch this channel have bought properties for $25, $50, $100. You can go through the comments, and a lot of the times they'll even put the address in there so you can actually go verify with the county record. So this is an amazing way to get into this. So let's talk a little more about why counties do this. Basically, they want to clear the inventory. These are sitting there, you know, maybe the grass is growing on these lots, and they want you to make it a productive piece of property that's collecting taxes and, you know, turning the community for the better. It doesn't do the county any good if they're not collecting taxes and there's grass growing. Now, for these cheap properties, you know, $2 to $5, a lot of the time, they're going to be small pieces. They're going to be lots in little towns. Now, beware, be warned. There are also lots of these cheap properties in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of desert. You want to avoid properties that are landlocked, okay? If it's out in the middle of desert, doesn't matter. If you can't get to it, don't buy it. I like cheap little properties that are in small little towns, and that's often where you're going to find it. Odds are you're not going to find these in the big cities. So the best way to do this is to go on Google, sort all the counties in your state by population, and start with the lowest population places. Because if you can buy something for $5 and sell it for 500 or 1,000, do that all day long. There's people on this channel here that do that. Like I said, I bought property for $50. One of my friends bought an apartment building for $50. He renovated it. Now, with buildings and things like that, there's generally conditions to where you have to renovate the building within a certain time frame. For example, one time I bought a property in New York at an auction. It was cheap, it was just a couple $1,000, but I had to renovate the property within a certain timeline to make it, you know, look good, bring the area up. So pay attention to that stuff, okay? Now, once again, is this stuff, you know, is it, what's the word? Is it a magic pill? No, you might have to go to several of these sales, and this is how we make money in this business. is we put in the elbow grease to do it. Once again, if you like this stuff, thumbs up, subscribe, ask a question in the comments. Would love to hear from you. Most of the people who watch aren't subscribed, and then they miss out on the details. So you can go and find these properties, but just make sure to read the details, right? Now, you will have to put in a little bit of elbow grease. If you want 100% certainty in real estate, where you can go and find unlimited properties all the time, you can go to Zillow, talk to a realtor, and pay full price. There is no shortage of those. When it comes to these properties, sure, you'll have to put in a little bit of elbow grease. I have a totally free guide called the ABCs of Tax Liens Deeds. It's free. I give it away. It's in the description. It'll walk you through all the steps. And as far as the counties, you can Google the county name, or I've put together a list of all 3,300 county phone numbers. So for example, maybe you're in Maryland. I got all the phone numbers here. You can just call them up and say, hey, what happens to the properties that didn't sell at the sale? That's called the over-the-counter list. Now, like I mentioned, I would go and sort the counties by population. Just copy and paste it from Wikipedia by population into a spreadsheet, and then from there, get the phone number, call them up, and ask them those simple questions as far as what do they have left over, okay? Like I mentioned, there is a full video on the channel where we show you properties that are available for as little as $2 that are out there. You can flip these and make thousands of dollars. It's an unconventional new way for you to get into real estate, and it can really change your life if you want to start doing real estate. Now, once again, is this for everybody? No. Is this a get-rich-quick pill? No, it's going to take a little bit of work. But what I can tell you is I guarantee you've put hundreds of hours into YouTube already, social media over the years. Think of all those coffees that you've purchased when you could have been using some of that time to buy these properties, right? The best time to start in real estate, if you would have started this 20 years ago, you'd be a millionaire by now. It's only going to get harder as inflation goes up, and you have lots of people like the BlackRocks scooping up all these properties. So now it's your turn to get into this before these guys come in and scoop them all up under your feet. Now is the time to do it. So it's time to get started. Like I say, if you like this stuff, thumbs up, subscribe. Most people who watch aren't subscribed. That way you can see all of the latest information. We walk you through step by step, and from there you can book a call if you want to speak with us one-on-one. There's a link in the description. We can help you get ready for sales and get the book. It is free in the description below as well to walk through. Tons of information on the channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Go buy some cheap properties. Tell me about it in the comments. We'll see you soon.